Okay, good morning. This is the Knick-Knack Knits podcast. This is episode 40. It is Saturday, April 10th, 2021. I am Heather. You can find me on Ravelry as E&M Mama and on Instagram as M&E Mama. All of our links will be down below. And I'm coming to you from Southern California.
And good morning, everybody. I am Nicci. You can find me on Instagram as Knick-Knack Knits. You can find me on Ravelry as Nicci with 2 C's, 52879. You can find the podcast group over there on Ravelry as Knick-Knack Knits Podcast. You can find us on Facebook as Knick-Knack Knits Podcast. You can also email me at knickknacknits2018@gmail.com. And as Heather said, all of it will be down below with links if possible. Otherwise, at least how to get a hold of us.
Yeah, at least the correct spelling and everything will be down there.
Yeah.
So this is the first episode of April, and so we have some admin stuff to take care of straight out of the gate. I will do my. No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Okay. So first we closed the Sock It To Me for March, and the winner for that is number 8, which is Arbor Childs, and I will put up a picture of her amazing colorwork sock she did.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can get in contact with me, either through Instagram or Ravelry, whichever one is easier for you, to send me your address so I can get that sent out to you. And then I already put up March's closed. April's Sock It To Me is up, and people have already started posting. So the hashtag on Instagram for that one is Sock It To Me April 2021. Mm-hmm. And I'll put that across the screen as we're talking about it.
Yeah. So. And then the next one that we have, the first quarter for the sweater along ended. So that was from January to March. And that ended, and the winner for that was, I think it was number 9.
Yes.
Number 9, and that's I McCall. Your name will be down there. So just get in contact with me, and I will send either through. It's probably best just do it through Ravelry, and I will send you your pattern $7 or less. Congratulations.
And then our last quarterly one is our featured designer, which is Knitting Expat. So again, that was January through the end of March. And the random number was number 1, which was Try Linda. So if you get in contact with me also for a pattern of $7 or under, and then we just go from the last number, I write it down. So both of those are still open. We just go from now April 1st through June 30th or 31st. I can't ever remember.
31st. I don't know. The end of June.
Yeah, the end of June. We have that going. So I was pleasantly surprised how many people are doing sweaters. Like putting me to shame. I have 5 sweaters on my needles. I just don't ever get them done.
Yeah, me too. I have 2. So
that is all our admin.
Yeah.
We can talk about our FOs right away. Do you have any?
No.
Okay. I quickly finished after our last episode my socks for the month, and that's all I have for FOs. So last time you saw these, I was putting the heel in this one, which these are my Coffee Pack socks by Tracy Miller. I just made shorties. So I put in the heel, and then I started and finished the second one.
You started and finished that last, or 2 weeks ago? Saturday?
Yeah.
Huh.
I've been getting 2 pairs done a month, and I have to stick with it. Like, that's my goal now.
I can't even get a pair done. I don't even make
I don't have children like you, and I didn't move like you.
Yeah, I moved.
And I injured myself, and all I could do was knit or crochet, and I barely could do that. So this one was right here. I finished that, and the other one was done last time. So those were my Rainbow Connection socks by Kay. And the yarn on this one was Night Owl Fibers in double door. And I forgot to tell you that the yarn from this one was a sock set from Leading Men.
Mm-hmm.
So that is all my FOs. So we will take a brief.
What was the solid in your Rainbow Connections?
Unknown skein.
Oh, okay.
Something that I pulled out of my stash bucket that I still have sitting right here because I still have all this.
Oh, wow.
No tag with it, so not really sure what it's from.
It goes really well with the Dumbledore.
So.
Okay, and we're back with our whips. I only have, I have 2, but should I do both of them at the same time?
Go for it.
I mean, I have a little bit of a story. Anyways, whatever. Yeah. So my first one is my March socks. Yes, I'm still looking at March socks. So these are just plain vanilla socks. I'm doing them 2 at a time. My heels have been in for a while, and I started marking. I have 4 markers. I probably should have 5, so I probably have like 50, a little over 50 rows done on my foot.
How many do you do for the foot?
So I'm getting there. It usually turns out to be about 75. 75, 80. Depending. Like, I don't know. I feel like doing magic loop or even like 2 at a time is different than, my tension's different than doing 9-inch circulars.
Gotcha.
And it's even different than doing like DPNs. So I haven't done this for a while, so I'm going to measure.
Gotcha.
So I'm not sure. But yeah, so these are Night Owl Fiber in the Dumbledore colorway. And that is coming out pretty nicely.
That is.
And this, I don't know. This is a color from Hobby Lobby, one of those packs, you know?
Yep.
So that's that. And then yesterday, so as Nicci said earlier, sorry, I'm gonna do this quick so it's over with. As Nicci said, I moved. We've officially been in this house for a week. So I just found my pattern notebook yesterday, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna pull out my star blanket and work on that some because I'm extremely behind. So I'm knitting. Me and Nicci are talking. We're on Zoom. And then we get off Zoom, and I realize that I messed up. Okay, first of all, my first mess up was that I was not making a point. So, like, you do this by altering the stitch count every other row. I was not. It was going straight. Then I was like, okay, well, this is taking forever. Like, what's going on? And it was looking substantially bigger than this wedge. So I was like, wait, what? For some reason, I had it in my head that I was supposed to do 35 garter bumps.
Oh, no.
which is 10, 11 more than you're supposed to do. You're supposed to
Yeah.
do 24. So I ripped it out. Like, I literally just took the needles out and ripped. And I got to, like, I think I did 4 rows once I put it back on the needles. But, like, I didn't drop any stitches. They were easily to pick up.
Right.
So I did the 4 rows, and then I bound off. And I have these 4 stitches left because I have to do the picking up of, yeah. So I finished wedge 2 in a kind of backwards way, but I finished it. So then last night, Hector was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm trying to figure this out." He's like,
I'm unknitting, okay?
You haven't knit ever." I was like, "I know, like, I feel like I'm really stupid right now. Like, I couldn't, like..."
No, you just had a mental block. It happens to all of us.
And I was like, "Why can't I figure this out?" And then, like, I was binding off, and he's like, "Okay, so it's not done." I was like, no, I just have to bind off and pick up.
No, Steven tortures us with, bind off, pick up, bind off,
Yeah.
pick up.
And he's like, "You're not doing that tonight, are you?" And it was, because it was like almost midnight by this point. I was like, "No, I'm not. I'm not doing that tonight." He's like, "Okay." So I think today I might cast on my next one.
Gotcha.
So
hey, we're both at the back of the class on that one.
Yeah, it's just,
I just lost
honestly,
steam.
when I realized that I wasn't altering the stitch count to, like, make the curve, I was like, forget it, I'm just gonna leave it, like, whatever, I don't care. But then when I realized that I was over my garter ridges, I was like, well, I have to pull it back anyway, so might as well fix that mistake. But I was like, whatever, like, I don't even care, I'm just gonna leave it. I'm just knitting along.
That's funny.
Yeah. So that's all I have for this week. Hopefully next podcast I'll have some more stuff. I have to cast on my April socks, so I should have that done. Not done, cast on. And now it's Nicci's show, because I'm done.
So my first whip, I'm going to show you. I should have already cast this off, but had it for 2 weeks now, done to, like, where all I have to do is bind off the top stitches. But it was a toe-up sock, my first one in fingering. It's a class, and we're supposed to do this next, so they're coming up Monday. I'm going to do the sewn bind off because I don't like a flare. Mm-hmm. And that's why I've always, like, steered away from this. So last time I was here, and so it's done. That's as much cuff as I want. This was a sock set from Arkansas Yarn Co. called Bedazzle that I picked up, I want to say 4 years ago.
Yeah, you've had that for a while.
Huh?
You've had that for a while.
Yeah. The pattern itself is Andrew Mowry's DRK Everyday Sock. When it's not on a sock blocker, it looks really, really not pretty. So you saw it on the sock blocker. This is what it looks like. And, like, to me, like, first of all, I looked at this and I was like, that's too long for my foot.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, and that's way too skinny for my foot. But then I put it on and it fits perfectly. So I don't know how I feel about these socks yet. I'm not looking forward to doing a second sock. I can tell you that. 2x2 ribbing is kind of the bane of my existence.
Which is why she only does that little bit of a cuff that you saw.
Well, but you got to remember, my husband's socks is 7.5 inches of nothing but 2x2 rib for the leg.
Yeah.
So, like, for myself, I don't want it. So my next whip is Nina came out with a new Socks Around the World. And so I'm doing those, but I'm not forcing myself to get them done in the first, each month they come out. But last time you saw this is the London sock. I was right here at the heel. And so I got all this done. And because I pick crazy yarn, I will try to take a picture to show the actual pattern.
You can see it.
Okay. I was going to say, on my side, it looks like you can't, but I know what I wear and I can. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a in-your-face thing, but I mean, I could see it.
And so this yarn itself was a commercial by Winsdom Yarn. Again, I got this 9 years ago when my local yarn shop that taught me to knit was closing. So I went stash diving. And there's that one. And one more hoe for you guys. Again from Knitting Expat. This is her Pebbles sock, which is her Beyond the Vanilla sock part 1. And I have all those sock patterns from her like collection, so I'm trying to work through things I've purchased.
Yeah.
And this was a colorway by Quaere Fibre, which I don't think she's dyeing anymore, in the Shalom colorway that I got for my birthday last year.
Really? That's Shalom?
Yeah.
That's pretty. I have that skein too.
So it's a 20 color repeat, so I didn't even get through 2 whole repeats on my sock. And then my heel is just Arkansas Yarn Co. in this was a gray that she came out with when she opened her brick and mortar store. And I forgot the name of it. So that is all my half projects I have on the needles. Where to go next? Let's go in this bag. Okay, so my first quarter sweater, which I have on a very small needle. Last time you saw it, it was way up there at Mickey's butt. So I got a decent amount done. And this is a Prairie Fire by Tin Can Knits. I'll try to show this lace section. And the yarn I'm using is Color Crafter Sheep G's, because it's washable, dryable. And color number 1827. So I'm still in my first ball. And I'm about, I want to say 50 rows from being able to split for the sleeves. Maybe not even that many. But it's coming.
Yeah, I don't think it's that many.
It's coming though. Slowly but surely. And now that it's getting, we had 3 days in the 70s, so I'm like, I don't need that right now. But now today it's 50, so I'm in a different DK way, not a Color Crafter, but short sleeve. Alright, my next one, I did not get this finished for the knit along with Happy Knits, but here is where the rose was, is where I was last time. This is the Magic Spring Shawl, and all the yarn is Artistic Yarn by Artistic Lily, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So, I'm on the Italian Ice, is the variegated. This was just bare, and then the next color will be, she called it Nicci's Green because I asked for a green. And that's what I got. And I threw it on the floor. The bag dropped. So here's my second Shalom sock. Like barely started it, 3 rows last night, that's all. And then I started this month's Paris socks by Knitting Expat. And all I got on those was the cuff. That's a very different cuff.
What, I was just going to say, what is that cuff?
I've never had this pattern before, so because it's paid for pattern, I can't really talk about it. But the yellow that I'm using is from Arkansas Yarn Co. on her Yummy Plush, and it was part of her Bridgerton collection, and it was Maria Antoinette, or not Antoinette, but Maria from the show.
What are you going to do for the body?
That I'm going with the whole yellow throughout the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
I wanted, because I got to see the pattern before it came.
Mm-hmm.
Or not the pattern, I got to see what yarn she used, so I went for a tonal in the same colors that she kind of had used.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started my second temperance. This one is for myself. And Malabrigo sock. Come on. So I'll show that. And I got all the yarn from Arkansas Yarn Co. The yellow is orchid. Then the variegated is Parade, and it's 732. And last, the teal feather, 412. That is really not showing true to color.
No.
There maybe, but
I like it, and I want the sweater in it.
That would be awesome in a sweater. I wonder if they have that same colorway in Rio's, though. I'm really liking the... And my next one is the Go-To cardigan that I'm making for Grandma. This is her left front. So I'm 10 rows from being able to start the decreases along the neck. And then I'll have to do the right side.
So we were talking, I don't remember if it was on the last podcast, but we were talking, and you were talking about how it rolls in.
Mm-hmm.
Did you end up doing the I-cord?
No.
Okay.
I thought about it, and maybe I'll see how it looks once I have all the pieces sewn together, and how it lays, and I might do something different or put toggles on it for her, because I did shorten it.
Yeah.
And then some of the other people doing it shortened their sleeves even by 3 inches, and it hit like just right here, and I'm going to do that. And like I said, I'm going to do the cuff in a size 8 instead of because right now that whole thing, they tell you to use a 10 or 10.5 the whole way through everything. And Grandma will get her sleeves done in everything she eats. And things will go inside them, and she won't be happy. So, speaking of the star blanket, I, like Heather, am behind. But I tried to catch up. We're supposed to be connected and like 12 rows in for this week. And the last time I showed it, I was on the 3rd parallelogram. And I have 6 full ones. And then the 7th one is started. So hopefully.
So you have to finish that one and do one more?
Yeah. And then I have to sew them together, and then I have to pick up all bazillion stitches.
I didn't even think about that.
Yes. I'm sorry if you can hear the dog barking. Okay.
It's not loud.
All right. I have 2 more projects. Both are brand new cast-ons.
Mm-hmm. I cannot be blamed for either one.
No, because knitting, after I injured my finger, really did hurt. And so I went to do crochet and got talked into some blankets. So my first one is my granny stripe Scrappy blanket. So what I'm choosing to do is I start with the scrap, and then this black is wool-like. So if I know how many grams I need to get across a row is 8. So if I have enough to do 2, I'll do 2. And then I put 2. But now if I had one that was just 1 stripe, then I'll put 1 stripe of black. And that's how I'm going to carry it on.
Okay, I see.
Because just randomly reaching in and not having control of how like my colors are going to go, because I don't know what scraps I'll have, was giving me like major anxiety. And like, I don't know if I'll like the way this looks in the end. So that was my way to fix it, to have the black in between each one so that, I had more control. Then, of course, because one is never enough, I started another little, it's called Battenberg. And you make little squares. I'll put up a picture of like a done project from the pattern page.
Mm-hmm.
It's a free pattern over on Ravelry. So you do a bunch of these squares. And then all around it will be a solid color. And then more colored. So I have hiccups again. I did all these. I have been trying to do 3 a day. And even though I started like on the 5th of April, I went back and did like 3 for the first 5 days of the month. So as of today, I will have 30. So I'm crazy, and I want a queen size. So I was going through other people's comments, and I figured out that I need 1,034 of the multicolored and 1,035 of the solid color. So it's going to be an ongoing project for like 4 to 5 years of my life.
Mm-hmm.
But that is all I have.
We're back to talk about Nicci's acquisitions. Because I have none.
Only because yours didn't come yet. Okay.
Mine didn't come yet. I do have acquisitions coming. They're just in the mail.
Yep. I got Woolen and Nash for the first time ever. She had an update, and I follow her on Instagram. So I went over, and because we've been all about the self-striping lately, and this is called Swizzle. So, and this is a 75 superwash Cordell and 25 nylon 3-ply. It has 383 yards, so it's very plump. I mean,
what was the colorway again? I'm sorry.
Swizzle.
Okay. It's cute.
And then I got from Untitled Fibers. I ordered. She had she showed some pictures of colorways that she was taking to a trunk show, and one was Headmaster's Pensive, and I really wanted it, so I contacted her, and she put it up in the shop for people to purchase, and I did so. Because blues and greens are my jam. A lot. And that's all my acquisitions for right now. The rest are in the mail.
Mm-hmm.
And the last segment is March's wrap-up for me. I started out the month with only 26. Then I added 7. I completed 4. I didn't frog anything. I didn't frog anything, but I ended the month with 29 whips. So, very close to 30, and I now have over 30 because of what I all added in April.
What did you finish?
I finished my two pairs of March socks, which I started and finished. I also finished the temperance shawl for
Arkansas
Yarn Co. and the chubby button hat. They're all brand new cast-ons and cast-offs. So.
Did you finish anything from your pre-existing?
No. Why would I want to do a silly thing like that?
I'm just wondering.
I know. And I had like the little dots next to things like that are almost done that I could go just like whip up.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it again this month, like put little dots next to things that I think I can finish before. So ideally, there's 10 things that I like to finish by May 1st.
But what are you casting on in April?
I've casted on 5 things already since April 1st.
Are you counting
and 2 of those were the blankets.
Mm-hmm.
And those won't be off for years. The other 3 things I plan to finish before May 1st.
Well, 2 of them are socks, so yeah.
Yep. And the temperance shawl, like I did it in 3 weeks last time. So.
Yeah, but that nearly did you in.
Right.
Don't do that again.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I don't want to relive that. So yeah, I think that's all I got.
Likewise.
I know that's all I got. I think that's all we got.
And we have a new cast on coming, both of us, May 4th.
We do.
You're doing the tank top, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
With Around the Table. So yeah, if you guys want to participate in another knit along, Around the Table is hosting one starting May 4th through June 4th for a tank top, tee. There's a whole bunch of different sweater patterns, crochet and knit, over on their website. You can look at their archived emails, and they talk about it there.
Mm-hmm.
Is
it on the events page already? Is it on the events page already?
I don't know if it is or on the events, but I know that it's in the archived emails.
Yeah, I know
the shop newsletters. So
Mm-hmm.
I got my yarn for that. That's what I didn't show. I had 2 more acquisitions. Yep. I bought Mojave for Clybourne for the 2 tank tops that I plan on doing.
So, yeah, we talked about that already.
Yep. I just didn't show you guys, and it's not in this room. I just remembered that when we talked about the cast on. Because I knew if I looked at it, I'd try to cast it on. And I don't want to cheat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can show it. You can show it next time because it'll be a future. It's
cast
future
on.
now, but
it'll be closer to the cast on.
Closer, yeah. Yeah.
So that is all we have for you today.
Yes.
I hope everybody had a great Easter.
Oh, yes. Happy Easter.
And has a good start to the spring now that the weather is changing. Me and Heather will try to get pictures together of everything we showed because I know sometimes the lighting distorts things, that we can add them in and show some of our work.
Yep.
So happy knitting until we see you next time, guys.
Happy knitting. Have a good 2 weeks.